I am back to peel some more clutter, and we've got a change of pace for you here. This is a shelf where I am keeping Oracle decks, and I decided that this is what I am going to clean this week, and I'll explain. When I started my channel, it really became my life in a lot of ways. I was focused on it all the time. I was working every day. There were other things in my life that I needed to do. I had an elderly dog that I was caring for toward the end. I was trying to visit my mom, but I didn't have the energy or the time to do much of anything else. That meant that the channel got off to a very good start. My decluttering also got off to a good start, and I definitely needed that start because otherwise I probably would have become discouraged and overwhelmed. Time passed. I lost my dog and my mom, and I had a bit of a void for quite a while, and decluttering filled that void, but it was a bit of a temporary fix because surprisingly one cannot live by decluttering alone. I did reap the rewards of all that work, but eventually it led me into burnout, which I've been wandering through off and on for several months now. What I'm doing to get out of it is I am spending more time with people and trying to rebuild my life outside of decluttering. While I'm trying to get my footing in that regard, I tried this angle because the other one was super awkward. I kept like bumping into it, but this angle is definitely worse. So don't worry, I do switch it back because, yeah, I wasn't fond of this footage. I just lost my train of thought. But anyway, what it has meant for the channel is that it has been harder for me to feel like I want to do anything. And there's a fine line. You can definitely push yourself some to do stuff, but there are points where pushing yourself is going to make things worse and will set you back even further. So I've been trying to avoid that for sure. Anyway, that's the long version. The short version is I'm bringing you into the spare bedroom, and I am working on one shelf. I needed a project with a specific start and finish that I could see quick results. This shelf started off as an extension of my library, which is in this room, but then my tarot and oracle decks needed a place to go. And I decided that given the way that my reading habits have changed, that I would go ahead and give the oracle decks this shelf right here. So you saw me go ahead and pull all of those books off of the shelf, and they are waiting to be sorted through. I will do that later, and we'll explain that later. Now I am going through these oracle decks, and at first I was putting the big ones on this tiered little shelf, but ultimately I decided no, those are going to go off to the right side, and I will put the smaller ones on the tiers. For now they're in alphabetical order, but I know I've got some more decks throughout the house. As I find them, I will bring them to their new home, and then I will decide, do I want them to remain in alphabetical order, or do I want to put them in the most used, closest to the outside, and then progressively, most to least used. And we'll see about that. I'm also going through and deciding, do I want to keep them? For most of them, the answer is yes, but I am going to let go of some, and there are some that I am going to evaluate, but we'll get to that at some point coming here. If you are interested, I do have a separate YouTube channel that is devoted to tarot and oracle decks. It is called Reach for the Star Tarot, and I will put a link to that. It's very much a hobby channel. I go through periods of posting there regularly and periods of drought, but it's kind of fun. All right, I'm still going through and making room for more decks. And while I do that, I want to tell you about something that I'm trying for August, which is kind of turning decluttering into a game. I wish I could remember who suggested that I try to gamify it some, but I'm very grateful for that comment, and I'm trying something this month. So for August 1st, my goal was to declutter 1 item. August 2nd, 2 items, and so on. So on the 12th, I will declutter 12 items, and on the 22nd, I will declutter 22 items, and then I'm planning to film all of this so you can see throughout the month how my decluttering efforts go. And I want to invite you to join the August challenge. So if you want to, go right ahead. It will be very easy to catch up because you only had to declutter 1 item on the 1st, and here we are on the 2nd. Pause for a moment to mention that I have 2 Mermaid Oracle decks, and I am planning to use those 2 this month and see if I really do need 2 of them. I don't think I do. So I want to go ahead and use some. Who wants a reading with an Oracle deck? Oh, I'd be happy to do one on this channel for fun. It'd be a blast. And I also have a separate little cubby that has a few decks in bags, but those go somewhere else. But I just wanted to show you those decks. I am getting rid of one of those. I'm in a trade or sell group on Facebook, so that's how I'm planning to get rid of those. That'll be great. I'll trade them for something else. Now let's move on to the books. These are the books that I took off of that shelf so that the Oracle decks had room. I'm keeping this one. I am going to let the rest go. I am keeping in mind something that many of you pointed out back when I was going through some books in the living room, and that is that the library has so much stuff. I can get so much at the library, and I don't need to keep it all. So things that I know I obviously can get at the library, I will put in there. There are also some books in this pile that are gifts, and that does indeed make it a little bit harder for me to let go of, but I will do my best. Oh dear. I do feel like I kept maybe more than I should, but that's okay. I am planning to go ahead and go through this pile over the course of a few days. All of the boxes that were on that shelf filled this box basically to the top. I am just going through and letting go of enough to fill 1/2 of one side of this box. That's what I'm doing for today, which is day 2. And I'm feeling like I did pretty good. Sometimes it is easy to get caught in the fact that, oh, I should have let go of more. But really, I am letting go of a number of books that I have had for a while, and you need to celebrate your wins. Celebrate your wins, even if they don't feel like a huge win. Celebrate them anyway. 19 books. 19 books going out on day 2. All right, so here are the before and after results for this shelf. It was looking pretty messy. There were some tarot decks on the shelf, which I've moved to that shelf. I'll deal with them later. That is a problem for future me. Present me has a very nice collection of decks here that I can use, and I would love to hear if you'll join me in my August decluttering challenge, and if you would like to have some oracle readings.